What's going on YouTube? So today we're going to take a look at a continuation of the last video I showed on YouTube where we talked about coming out in a play that has movement defensively and then base aligning and audibling to a different defense. So here we're in the nickel 2-4-5 double A gap. We're coming out in the play outside dog 3 every single time, and then we're going to base align every single time. Now, what the outside dog 3 is going to do is it brings the safety down because he's blitzing. So when we base align after we call the play, no matter what we audible to, that safety is going to walk down to the line of scrimmage every single time. Now, what I like about this defense out of the nickel 2-4-5 double A gap, and it must be the 2-4-5 double A gap because we do want the linebackers on the field standing up. As you can see right here, they're linebackers and they're standing up. We don't want the version where they're defensive ends and they have their hand in the dirt. That's not something that we want because that is nowhere near as effective. So we're coming out in outside dog 3, and here's a few examples of audibling now to cover 2. So as you can see, with the base align and then audibling to cover 2, it's really just the confusion that we add. They have no idea what defense we're going to be running. We're going to make some adjustments. We're going to man this guy up. We're going to zone this guy. And we're just going to do different things to confuse our opponent. There's nothing about this defense specifically that is set up like a blitz or anything. But as you can see here, we can also turn this into a max coverage defense. So I base align, the safety comes down, and in outside dog 3, the safety on the right that comes down, he's blitzing. Also, the corner on the left is also blitzing. So I'm not always going to audible out of outside dog. These are things that I'm going to use so that if I wanted to run outside dog with the safety and the corner blitzing, then I can, and my opponent's never going to know. So here I audible to cover 3 show 2, and we're giving the exact same look just like we would on any of the other plays, whether it's mid blitz, cover 2, whatever. It's single high safety, so they're never going to know. And in this example, we end up playing a max coverage defense. So we've got curl flats, hard flats, hook curls, etc. And we're only rushing 2. Now here, because of the threat of the run on this formation, even though it is 3rd and 10, I just make sure that I blitz the guy that I'm using so that we don't get pancaked. So now we've set up our defense. He makes his little audible. And now I keep that guy blitzing. I come down, stack the line. You know, we're just making adjustments, and he has no idea what it is that we're running. But I can assure you that he's very nervous due to the fact that we've got everybody on the line. I love the fact that we've got the 2 guys in the A gap, and it just looks identical. And as you can see here, now we run mid blitz, and he just has no idea what's going on. Now again, this gameplay footage is from the beginning of the year. This is when I was just messing around with the base align glitch, as I call it. It's something I've been doing for many, many years, but I was just trying to get ideas of how it could work this year. So this is from the beginning of the year, but as you can see, we can certainly get pressure on our opponent. I'm not going to be calling mid blitz a lot. Mid blitz is something I'm going to go to every once in a while. I know a lot of people can become mid-blitz happy, but because we're not pressing and because we're not using the old school style of mid-blitz by pressing and stacking the line and then using the guy that's on the running back or the tight end, etc., you know, we're playing off coverage here. So mid-blitz is something that you want to throw in once in a blue moon. It's not something that you want to be running every single down. And here again, this is outside dog 3. So we base align. Now we put the right screen guy in a deep blue, but we leave the left slot defensive back on his blitz. So again, it's just a lot of confusion. Here again, we're just making some adjustments, but this time we end up blitzing both guys from the outside, but we also have different zone coverages in behind it. He fears that we're going to be sending the house, so he only sends out 2 routes. And then even though our cornerbacks did not get in, we're still able to get the sack. So that is why I like to use this base aligned feature by base aligning and then audibling to a different play, just because the confusion is insane. And again, just like the Big Time 146, I love the fact that the linebackers on the outside are standing up. That's just going to allow for a lot more block sheds by those outside defenders. And it's just something that you can use to throw in. And, you know, if you're playing someone that maybe isn't necessarily the greatest player, but maybe they're beating you for whatever reason, or they're keeping the game close, this is the type of defense where when you're stacking the line like this, it's going to confuse somebody, especially like if they're not very good. They're going to panic in these scenarios a lot. Like they really, really will panic, and you're going to get a lot of sacks that way. You're going to get a lot of interceptions that way. So you can come out in outside dog 3, you can base align, and you can audible to the regular cover 2 where the corner on the left is not blitzing, or you can put in your audibles the cover 2, I forget what it's called, but basically the slot corner is blitzing, or you can just manually blitz him. And that's how I like to get some left side pressure. But I'm basically going between cover 2, cover 3, mid blitz. I'm keeping outside dog as another option that I have, and just kind of cycling through and making adjustments to really confuse my opponent. So hope you guys enjoyed the video. Like I said, there's no real true scheme beside it other than just confusion, but that confusion worked for me.